My name's Jolene, I'm from Island Vista, and I'll be taking you on this tour of Lerwick today. At the minute, we're at the Shelton Museum and Archives, which if you come for Shelton Wool Week next year, you'll get to know the museum pretty well. But for now, we've got a lot of interesting things to show you around Lerwick. Lerwick is the capital of Shetland and the only town. Around 7,500 people live in Lerwick, which is approximately a third of Shetland's population. Our tour today starts at Victoria Pier, which is right in the town centre. Victoria Pier is named after Queen Victoria and is built on reclaimed land. The Diana Fountain is located at the entrance of Victoria Pier and commemorates the sailors who were lost on a whaling expedition on board the whaling ship the Diana. As we head over to the small boat harbour, we will pass an interesting sculpture. This is the Lightsome Buoy and is a celebration of the pelagic fishing industry in Shetland over the years. Fishing is the main part of our economy, and pelagic fishing, which is fishing for herring and mackerel, has long been a key player in that. The small boat harbour hosts many of our visiting yachts and our lifeboat. We have 2 lifeboats in Shetland, the one here which is based on the east coast and one based in Aid on the west coast. They have a range of about 50 miles each and are looked after by the RNLI, which is the Royal National Lifeboat Institution. This impressive building is the old toll booth. Originally it's where you would have gone to pay your taxes, but over the years it has had a varied history. That includes a prison and a ballroom. Nowadays it is the headquarters for the local branch of the RNLI. One thing that visitors to Lerwick don't expect to see is a sandy beach so close to the town centre. This is Baines Beach and is popular with sea glass collectors and wild water swimmers alike. The water here may look tropical, but if you go in for a swim, you'll soon discover that it isn't tropical temperatures. Now this is a house that needs no introduction. This is the Lodbury, possibly Lerwick's most photographed house, but this is the fictional home of Jimmy Perez from the TV series Shetland. Long before Jimmy was even born, though, the Lodburys had an interesting past. They were used as trading booths. Small boats would come alongside the warehouses and the goods would be lifted ashore. An interesting form of recycling takes place here. In the past, if your boat was no longer seaworthy, you could simply patch it up, build stones around it, and hey presto, you have a perfectly good chicken coop or outdoor storage area. This is a slightly larger example, and this gentleman has built a garage. We look over Lerwick Harbour to Bressa. Lerwick has always been a sheltered harbour, and that is thanks to Bressa running alongside it. It's only 7 minutes on the ferry to Bressa, and the ferry goes right from the town centre. We move now on to the hill head, which is the highest point of the old part of Lerwick. There are many little lanes that will take you from here back to the harbour. The Lerwick War Memorial was unveiled in 1924 and was designed to commemorate the people from Shetland who were lost during both the First and Second World Wars. The town hall was opened in 1883 and is a beautiful building. Unfortunately, it's closed to the public just now, but hopefully that will have changed by next year. There are stained glass windows on the second floor, which represents various events from throughout our history. There is a clock on top, which chimes every quarter hour. Lerwick Sheriff Court was built in 1875. Many of you will recognise this building as it pretends to be the police station in the TV series Shetland. Fort Charlotte was named after King George III's wife and may well be the unluckiest fort in Scotland. The current fort was the 3rd attempt at having a fort here. The previous 2 attempts were unsuccessful, and by the time this fort was completed, the war was over. The cannons here are replicas, but they make for some interesting shots. See what I did there? The view from Fort Charlotte is incredible. The vista takes in the whole harbour. From here we can see to the industrial side of town at the North Mouth and over the central historic part of Lerwick towards the South Mouth. Below us is where you catch the Bressa ferry. Mareel is our cinema and music venue. Some events from Wool Week will take place here, and there's also a nice cafe for meeting up with friends. We're now back at the Shelton Museum and Archives. The museum is a 5-star tourist attraction and gives you a wonderful insight into Shetland's past. It is located on the historic Hayes Dock area of Lerwick. It is the hub for Shetland Wool Week. You can collect your membership packs here, pick up past and present Wool Week annuals from the gift shop, check the notice boards for last-minute tickets for events and car sharing notices to events out of town, or you can just sit in the gallery and knit with friends, both old and new. No tour to Lerwick is complete without taking guests to the street. Commercial Street is where many of their local shops are located, and they're worth a look. I don't have time to point them all out today, but here are some of interest. Before I do that, I want to draw your attention to the Red Bus shelters. This is the Esplanade, and a couple of the tours will start from here next year, as well as the museum car park. Starting at one end of Commercial Street, this is the Shetland Times Bookshop. It is a great place for a selection of local books, including many books about knittings and textiles, and even some patron books too. The next shop is one that needs no introduction, but this is Jameson's of Shetland. Many of you will have seen photos of their wool wall, which is every bit as impressive as it looks in photos. They are also renowned for their lovely window displays, which are always very topical. Currently, one of the windows is dedicated to Wilma Malcolmson, who is this year's Wool Week patron. Opposite Jameson in Shetland is Anderson & Co., another yarn store. Here they have a wide selection of yarns and also a lovely collection of knitted garments all made in real Shetland wool. The Tourist Centre is a place you may wish to visit for more information about Shetland and things to see and do. Shetland Soap Company is a social enterprise company and makes some great smelling soaps. These come in various forms, from hard bars of soap to liquid foam soap. The bars of soap can be purchased in cute little Farrell covers, which can also double up as a phone or glasses case afterwards. I've included the post office so that you know where you can buy stamps and post cards home to your loved ones, or maybe more importantly, where you can post your woolly purchases home for yourself. Next door is Ninian, featuring the lovely work by Joanna Hunter Knitwear. There is a selection of knitted items in the shop from other makers around Shetland, including knitwear, candles and jewellery. REM produces machine-made scarves, snoods and ties with a wide variety of different patterns. She uses silk blends for the items, which make them smooth and soft. Last but by no means least is Loose Ends. Loose Ends have 3 floors of woolly items and haberdashery. They sell items for various local knitters, and they're also the Lerwick stockist for Uredale yarns. Loose Ends also run events and classes throughout Wool Week. We're leaving the town centre now and heading towards the outskirts of town. One important place we need to visit is the Jameson and Smith wool brokers. This yarn store is a must for woolly visitors. Check out all that wool. Another place on the edge of town that really needs to be experienced is the Shetland Textile Museum. There are lots of interesting displays about Shetland's textile heritage here. Why not have a look through the displays, browse in the shop and enjoy a chat with the volunteers. This tour is just a brief introduction into Lerwick and also indeed into Shetland. We look forward to being able to welcome you here next year in person so that we can show you more of our wonderful town and islands. Thanks for joining me today. Take care now.